Hey, welcome to my channel, or welcome back, loyal viewers. I'm Kerry, the nosy housefrau, and today I'm sticking my nose in on the piping hot tea that is Shane Dawson's new release. The YouTube community held its breath today, waiting for Shane Dawson to release the first part of The Beautiful World of Jeffree Star. I too was excited and had expressed an expectation that I would come away from it liking them, as I always do when I see Shane and Jeffree together. But ultimately, I kept my expectations low, partially because I knew it was just the first installment. Maybe they needed to get some wind under that kite, but partially it's because I'm just like that. But I, for one, was not disappointed. As the trailer suggested, there was a lot of planes, hotels, and green rooms. Much emphasis was put on Jeffree's jet-setting lifestyle, and I was all in for that. I expected little to no tea, so it was kind of a nice surprise when some was sprinkled in. There were moments pre-friendship loss with James Charles that we know are foreshadowing for future events. At about the 45-minute mark, Gabrielle Zamora's name in the finger flip photo came up. It was like we went into the Wayback Machine on drama. I chuckled at the quick camera cuts to other YouTubers in the Morphe store. But that wasn't where the video was centered. This was, as I suspected, the beginnings of the rise of Shane Dawson in the beauty industry. From the get-go, Shane is neurotic. He's neurotic about travel, about his body, and the disappearing Oreo cookies whose disappearance isn't exactly a mystery, but mostly Shane seems neurotic about the potential of leaping into the beauty industry. And even being successful seems to weigh on his mind. He holds nothing back when expressing his stress regarding everything from the flight to the fans. As is always the case with Shane, I found myself laughing out loud over his ability to laugh at himself. He says that he's not used to being rich, and then wonders if the car is coming. He bursts out laughing in that self-effacing way he has. The irony of saying he's not used to being rich and then wondering where his car is was not lost on him. There are exchanges between Shane and Ryland about Ryland not going on the trip, but you can see, even with banter, there is a lot of love there, and Ryland, like Shane, is not easy to anger. There's no tension between them, even when a communication conflict may have an element of truth to it. I was uplifted seeing that these two have the tools for marriage already. Have backpack will travel. Shane gets to the plane before Jeffree and has time to have a conversation with the experienced pilot that I found quite hilarious. Shane begins by looking him up and down in that fearful flyer way that says, "Is this pilot safe?" And clearly Shane wants an instant resounding no when he asks the pilot if there's truth to the statistic that smaller planes crash more often than large ones. The pilot tilts his head in consideration of this, and to Shane, this silence is confirmation of his fears. His look of horror, of course, turns into bursts of laughter, and that fact seemed to confuse the pilot a bit, and that added to the comedy for me. From the moment Jeffree arrives at the plane, the friendship and chemistry is instant. Jeffree's demeanor is the antithesis to Shane's neuroses. He is confident and carrying himself in full ownership of the industry royal position he has ascended to. He is the yin to Shane's yang as he calms him during takeoff. In fact, before they even board the plane, Shane expresses that he's scared, and Jeffree immediately reassures him by saying, "Small planes are very safe, these guys are amazing, I don't think life is ready for two big players to be taken out at once." And then laughing he says, "That's just impossible." He points out to Shane that he's taken the liberty of seeing that he has his own personal bodyguard, who, like his, will shoot on a moment's notice if necessary. And that was something I felt was played up for the camera in a little bit, but very humorous. The bodyguards themselves, they were a bit like robots set to their default defend mode, and the dynamic with Shane was, of course, very funny, right down to his bodyguard carrying his root beer. After checking into their hotel in Sacramento, the next day is a whirlwind that Jeffree is comfortable with, and Shane is not. Scores of fans scream their name as Jeffree announces there will be a Shane Dawson eyeshadow palette. Probably one of the best takeaways was Jeffree opening up to Shane about how he isn't always confident and fears losing what he has. This to me was a real moment and something that I've come to understand is very common for successful people. Actors can win an Oscar and still fear they will never work again. For Jeffree, the backlash about his brushes scared him into tears. They sold out in an hour anyway. But it seemed to be a good lesson for both of them, and I found myself feeling a bit more insight into Jeffree's appeal. He is both tough and vulnerable. He seems fragile, yet tough as nails. It is this steel magnolia demeanor that makes him fascinating. Ultimately, I know there will be people who say, "Come on, Shane, you're not poor. Stop acting like you live in a van and deliver pizzas. You're already rich." But this is a new endeavor for him, and Jeffree, because he likes him, is taking him to the next level. It's out of Shane's comfort zone, and I'm fascinated that he is expressing such insecurity about something and is going ahead anyway. It's as if Jeffree has enough confidence for both of them. For me, Shane is doing a service for insecure, neurotic people everywhere. He has all but said, "Why me?" He directly says he doesn't think he could sell product, and to paraphrase, he says, "Well, I knew some people would buy it, but not a lot." I'm fascinated to see if that lack of confidence won't matter one bit. It's going to be very interesting to see if they do cover the numbers in the next video as suggested. I think Shane is very clever about knowing he has to deliver for his viewers. The tea is just beginning here. Jeffree mentioned seeing some of himself in Shane, and I had sort of wondered if that was true. I think he has a vision for Shane that Shane may not have for himself. I think this is largely because Jeffree cares for Shane and wants to share his success with someone he deems worthy. For him, it's finally a friend who is a safe place. Jeffree will make money off of this endeavor, but I don't think that's the main driving force. I feel it fulfills something else in him. I think he will get satisfaction out of helping Shane. He's not pulling the ladder up behind him, and he's doing for someone what he would have wanted done for him. I sense that, and I like that. And what better message of friendship is there in this entire video than to see someone say to someone nervous, "I believe in you." Jeffree doesn't allow Shane to dwell on his insecurities. He smiles and makes him move forward. "You've got this. Come out. Wave to your fans. You're scared? Well, that's why they call it courage, bitch." And let me know what you guys think. Was it what you expected? Did you like it? And stay tuned. We're just getting started. Until next time, good night.